This is the listening section. Part 1. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 5. Now we shall begin. You should answer the questions as you listen, because you will not hear the recording a second time. Listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 5. Part 1. You will hear a conversation between a doctor and a patient.
Good morning. Please have a seat here. What's the problem?
I have a terrible stomachache.
Do you have diarrhea?
Yes, I do.
Do you have any other symptoms?
Yes, I feel sick.
You mean you feel nauseous?
That's right, I feel like vomiting, and right now I feel dizzy too.
When did the symptoms start?
This morning. Yesterday evening I ate something raw.
All right. Please take off your clothes to the waist and lie down there. Just tell me if it hurts when I do this.
It doesn't hurt. Ouch! It hurts there.
Okay. Let's hope it's just indigestion, but we'll need to run some diagnostic tests to be sure. We'll run a blood test and we'll also need a urine sample.
Can you give me something for the time being?
Yes, I'll give you a prescription for indigestion tablets.
Before you hear the next part, you have some time to look at questions 6 to 10. Listen carefully and answer questions 6 to 10. You will hear a conversation between a salesman and a customer.
Excuse me, may I see that laptop for a moment?
Sure, you mean this one?
No, the one on the left. Yes, that's the one, thank you.
It's a state-of-the-art piece of equipment, sir, with a gigantic 16.1-inch UXGA TFT screen, 2.8 GHz mobile processor, generous 512MB RAM, removable 80 GB hard drive, convenient CD rewritable DVD combo drive, stunning fast graphics board with 64MB DDR SD RAM, dual battery capability, integrated fast Ethernet card, IEEE 1394 digital interface and 8 USB ports. It has all the power of a desktop computer packed into an ultra-slim notebook.
That's impressive. What's the sale price?
The regular price is $2,980, but until December the 31st, it's on sale for just $2,699.
This is the end of part 1. You have some time to check your answers. Now turns to part 2. First, you have some time to look at questions 11 to 20. Listen to a topic on culture of Thailand, a unique cultural blend of many Asian countries. Now listen carefully and answer questions 11 to 18 first.
Thailand is famous for its mouth-watering food, monasteries, stunning landscapes, pristine beaches and tuk-tuks. Rightly known as the land of smiles, natives here are extremely friendly. The culture of Thailand is diverse with significant influences from Burma, India, and China. With the tourist industry booming in here, the vibrant culture here guarantees you to carry on some unforgettable memories. Thailand's customs and traditions. Thailand's fascinating history shows its influence on customs and traditions. The traditional Thai culture derives many of its practices from Theravada Buddhism. though you can sense a perfect blend of traditions from countries like China, India, South Korea, and many other South Asian and Southeast countries. The reason being the Uythtaya kingdom that was extremely welcoming to foreign traders from Asia, letting them set up villages outside the capital. Later European countries like France, Denmark became their trading partners. Architecture of Thailand. Having influences from many foreign countries, Thailand has undergone major architectural reforms. The magnificence of the architecture there holds strong to the culture of Thailand, and can be realized in the ruins of many temples and palaces. Many European-influenced buildings, shop houses are dotted throughout Thailand's landscape. The capital city beautifully blends modern architecture with traditional ones. Thailand's cuisine. The world-famous Thai cuisine has derived its influences mainly from South China, India, and other Asian countries. Rice, spices, and coconut are the base of Thai cuisine. Similar to Indian food, Thai dishes are also hot and spicy. Though their intricacy and careful choice of ingredients bring out some of the most mouth-watering food on the planet. Non-veg food also plays a significant role due to Muslim influence in southern coastal areas. Many hawkers will be selling some amazing snacks, which are also common in here. Festivals of Thailand. Cheerful Thai people would not have been so without the colorful and dazzling festivals that are an integral part of the culture of Thailand. Most exhilarating festivals include the Songkran, Water Festival, Boon Bang Phai, Rocket Festival, and Yi Peng, Lantern Festival. Festivals. Water Festival is celebrated every year on 13th April, which also happens to be the Thai New Year. Splashing water on loved ones is one of the key activities. It symbolizes the cleansing of all of one's sins done in the past year. Stunning dance performances and parades will await you on the streets. There is also a competition held for the Miss Songkran title. The Rocket Festival is mainly celebrated by the farming community of Thailand. Rockets are flaunted all over the city before launching it. The highest climbing rocket will earn their owners a cash prize. The rockets are sent to please gods for showering abundant rainfall. The most spectacular scenes can be captured during the Lantern Festival. The sky illuminates while people release paper lanterns, as a symbol of warding off the mishaps of the past year. It is mainly celebrated in the city of Chiang Mai. The Chinese New Year is celebrated all over Thailand because of a significant Chinese population. Traditional dragon dancers will enthrall you with their stunning performances. Delicious Chinese food and firecrackers will ensure all present will have a merry time.
Before you hear the rest of the topic, you have some time to look at questions 19 to 20.
Religion in Thailand. Over 95% of the people in Thailand follow Theravada Buddhism. Traditional Thailand is in Buddhism theme just because of its humongous number of followers. Islam is the second most widely followed religion. The Muslim population is scattered throughout Thailand, with mostly residing in Bangkok and southern parts. Other religions like Hinduism, Christianity, and Judaism are present in lesser numbers. In spite of Thailand being a multi-diverse country, people live here harmoniously. The world-famous Thai cuisine, or the exhilarating festivals, or the unique folk dances, you will definitely enjoy this ever-enthusiastic landscape that is the culture of Thailand.
Part 3. You have some time to look at questions 21 to 25. You will hear a tour guide explaining a historic building. Listen carefully and answer questions 21 to 25.
As a tour guide, it is my pleasure to introduce you to one of the most iconic and historically significant buildings in our city, the Old City Hall. This grand structure has stood at the heart of our downtown district for over a century, and it is a true testament to the architectural and cultural achievements of our community. The Old City Hall was built in the late 19th century, during a time of rapid growth and development in our city. At the time, our city government was in need of a new and more imposing headquarters, one that would reflect the growing power and prestige of our community on the national stage. After a design competition, the plans for the Old City Hall were selected, and construction began in 1891. The building is a masterpiece of Victorian architecture, with its grand clock tower, ornate stone carvings, and intricate stained glass windows. The exterior of the building is made from a combination of red sandstone and marble, which was quarried from local mines. The clock tower rises to a height of over 200 feet, and is easily visible from many points throughout the city. As we enter the building, you will notice the grand marble staircases that lead to the main lobby. The lobby is adorned with intricate mosaics and sculptures, as well as a beautiful stained glass dome. From the lobby, we can take a look at the Grand Council Chamber, where the City Council has held their meetings for over a century. The chamber is adorned with ornate plasterwork, and has been used as a setting for many important historical events and ceremonies. As we proceed to the upper floors, you will have the opportunity to see the private offices of the mayor and other city officials, as well as a number of ornate reception rooms and historic exhibit spaces. One of the highlights of the tour is a visit to the clock tower, where you can get a panoramic view of the city, and it's a great place for photo opportunities. In conclusion, the Old City Hall is more than just a building, it is a symbol of our community's history and heritage. It represents a time when our city was on the rise and establishing itself as a major player on the national stage. It is a beautiful and grand structure that we are proud to call our own, and I am honored to have the opportunity to share its story with you today. Please let me know if you have any questions or if you want to learn more about this building or others in the city.
You have some time to look at questions 26 to 30. Listen to a topic on importance of green trees and answer questions 26 to 30.
Trees are an essential part of our environment, and green trees in particular play a vital role in maintaining the balance of the ecosystem. Here are a few ways in which green trees are important. Oxygen production. Green trees produce oxygen through the process of photosynthesis, which is essential for the survival of all living organisms. Without trees, the oxygen levels in the atmosphere would decrease, making it difficult for us to breathe. Carbon sequestration. Trees absorb carbon dioxide from the air and store it in their biomass, helping to reduce the amount of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. This helps to mitigate the effects of climate change. Biodiversity. Trees provide habitats for a wide variety of plants and animals. Forests, in particular, are home to an estimated 80% of the world's terrestrial biodiversity. Soil conservation. Trees help to prevent soil erosion by stabilizing the soil with their roots. They also improve the quality of the soil by adding nutrients through their leaf litter. Climate regulation. Trees provide shade and cool the air through evapotranspiration, making the temperature more comfortable for humans and other animals. They also help to reduce air pollution by absorbing pollutants from the air. Medicinal and industrial importance. Trees have been used for centuries to make medicine, with many species of trees are known to produce compounds that have medicinal properties. Wood is also an important raw material for construction, papermaking, and other industries. In conclusion, Green trees play a vital role in maintaining the health of the planet and supporting life on Earth. Without them, the world would be a vastly different and less hospitable place. It is important for us to protect and preserve our remaining forests and to plant new trees where possible.
End of Part 3. You have some time to check your answers.
Part 4. First, you have some time to look at questions 31 to 40. Now listen carefully and answer questions 31 to 40.
Today's podcast is called Change Your Goal. Let's get started. It's so easy to get impatient. We are conditioned by school and society to demand instant results. Our attention spans get shorter and shorter. School, in particular, teaches us a lie. The lie is that in one semester, or 4 years, we can take all the required courses, pass all the required tests, and then receive our degree as proof of our mastery of a subject or subjects. But this is a farce. It's a farce in most subjects, not just language education. In fact, formal school is a very poor place to master any subject or skill. I got my undergraduate degree in journalism. I graduated with honors. I took all the required journalism courses and was near the top of my class. I thought I knew the subject well. But upon graduation, I realized that I knew almost nothing about writing or journalism. I was told by many reporters and editors that journalism school was almost useless, and that the only thing that mattered was developing one's skills independently through experience. Several years later, still clueless, I went back to school to get a master's degree in social work. I took classes, passed tests, and endlessly analyzed obtuse theories of social work. At the end of my program, I had an internship. I was placed in an agency that helped abused and neglected teenagers. After just 1 week there, I realized that I had no idea what to do. My master's degree program had not given me any practical knowledge, nor usable theories. Everything I learned as a social worker, I learned on the job. I learned by trying things, examining the results, formulating new ideas, and then trying more things. Relentlessly, over several years, I improved as a social worker. The master's degree was a ticket to higher paying jobs, but it provided nothing useful beyond that. The truth is, school is not a good place to learn. Life is where you learn, and that learning is a lifelong process. There is no end. There is no graduation. There are no permanent grades or records. True learning, true skill, true mastery come from the process that Anthony Robbins calls kanai, constant and never-ending improvement. The Japanese call this kaizen. The truth is, learning never ends. Most language learners, including me, are still stuck with a school mentality. They think that if they take enough courses, they'll get a certificate that will prove that they speak the language. Then they try to talk to a native speaker and discover that their certificate is, in fact, useless. Many language learners also have a graduation mentality. They think that if they study hard enough, in 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, etc., they will finally graduate from English and be finished. But there is no graduation. I am a 38-year-old native speaker, and I'm still trying to improve my English speaking ability. I'm trying to work on the rhythm of my speech. I'm also trying to reduce the number of fillers that I use. For example, you know, like. As a writer, I still have a lot of improvement to make. I need to develop the clarity and power of my writing, and I'm still learning new words. The point is, I will always be improving my English ability. I'll never be finished. I'll never graduate. English learning is a lifelong learning process. And though I'm starting 38 years later than I did with English, I'm beginning to realize that Spanish is also a lifelong learning process. I'm trying to shift my attitude from a graduation mentality to a canaille mentality. There is no finish line. There is only constant and never-ending improvement for as long as I live. A canaille attitude can help your motivation because it takes off the pressure. So many language learners view learning as a race. They are desperately trying to get to the finish line as fast as possible. Instead, try adopting a mindset of constant and never-ending improvement. Don't worry about finish lines. Instead, be sure that every week you improve just a little bit. You might learn a few new phrases. You might make a tiny improvement in listening comprehension or pronunciation. The next week, be sure to make a few more improvements. They don't need to be big. They don't need to be dramatic. Small, even tiny improvements are enough, as long as they are constant and never-ending. I'll end this article with a challenge. For the next few months, I challenge you to forget all your finish line goals. Forget TOEIC and TOEFL scores. Forget certificates or degrees. Forget any idea of finishing English. Instead, for the next few months, make constant and never-ending improvement your only goal. Decide that every week you will make a very small improvement with your English ability. And you will do this every week. Constantly. Consistently. Never-ending. Okay, that's today's podcast. Let me review a few of the new words, maybe the more difficult words that I used in this podcast. Up near the beginning, I used the word impatient. Many language learners become impatient. That includes me. Impatient is the opposite of patient. So impatient means not patient. Right? It means you're tired of waiting. You want to be perfect in English right now. Okay, later I use the word farce. I say that formal education, formal schools are a farce. It's a strong word. Farce means totally foolish, totally stupid, a big joke. Okay, a little later I use the phrase obtuse theories. Obtuse is something that is very difficult to understand. And it also has a negative feeling. It gives the idea that it's something that's too complicated. It doesn't need to be complicated, but it's made more complicated than necessary. A little later, I talk about formulating ideas, that when I was a social worker, I would try things, then I would formulate ideas. To formulate means to create or to make something. So I formulate ideas, it means I make ideas, I come up with ideas, I create ideas. Then later I use the word relentlessly. Relentless means without stopping, never stopping. And relentlessly means doing something without stopping. And it has this idea that you will never give up. You will never, ever give up. Never quit. You are relentless. You are doing something relentlessly. Okay, later I use a kind of a slang phrase called canaille. You won't find canaille in the dictionary. Canaille is an abbreviation. It stands for constant and never-ending improvement. So we're taking